Hey, you guys, I'm just going to share a couple of amazing videos. Anyway, and I want to add to one of them that I may not share, but he's going over why he's debunking the regular way of defining no man knows the day or the hour, only the Father. So as he's speaking, and I've said this before in comments, not on my videos, but no man knows the day or the hour, only my Father, is because they asked the question, when will the end be? Okay. They may or may not have known, irregardless if they knew or didn't know about the 7-year tribulation. That, to me, doesn't matter. What matters is they asked the question about, number one, they asked the question, when will the end be? The end of it all. Number two, you can go to the verse where it says, the days will be shortened or else no man would survive. So to me, no one knows the end because, yeah, we're told 7 years. But again, there's the verse that says, but God may cut it short. If I have my phone, no, it's in the other room plugged in, but if he didn't cut the days short, then no man would survive. So nobody knows that day because only the Father knows when he will cut it short. You know, there's even that verse, even the very elect can be fooled. Like on another video, there's some crazy things that are going to possibly fool even the very elect. And I think that's in the same verse or the next verse. And then, so he has to cut it short or no man would survive. There's even a third verse that it's probably not pertaining to the trib, but it said he will cut it short in righteousness. You can just say, he will cut it short in righteousness. And it'll tell you where it is. Anyway, so I'm going to share this other amazing dream talking about Rachel, the correlations. He does give the count again. And anyway, so I just wanted to bring that up, that no man knows but my Father. Well, that's because the days would be shortened or else no man, no flesh would survive. And it's the trib because, yeah, the Bible says it's going to be 7 years. And yes, there's calculations of it being 7 years. And it adds up to be 7 years. But he says days. So it's not like it's months. So he might shorten it for 2 days. Maybe he's going to shorten it. You know, think about what that last day, the last day of 7 years is going to be like, you guys. I mean, I'm just thinking of that. The very last day of those 7 long, hellish years. What will that last day be like? How many people are going to be left? So, unless those verses don't relate, I'm confident of the counts. You know, the counting of, you know, how they count ahead with the 7-year tribulation. And if like they've calculated. If the rapture happens on the 23rd of September, and they're counting 7 years, 360 days in a year? I mean, time will also speed up, so maybe as we calculate it now, it fits. But by the time we're gone out of here on the 23rd of September, maybe time will really speed up. And that's how the days will be shortened, and they will still add up to be 7 years, but just shorter days. I don't know, because the sun's going to be darkened. Also, now not forever maybe, or all 7 years, but also the sun is going to scorch people. So it's both. The sun will be darkened and the moon will no longer give its light and the stars will be falling from heaven. Now that might be toward the end, or it's just for a little while. Maybe it's after we're raptured. I don't remember. I don't really learn the tribulation stuff because I won't be here. I never planned on being here, and even when I thought I might be left behind because I was being bad or living in the world, I wasn't planning on lasting all 7 years. People are going to get diseases from drinking filthy water. People are going to die because they don't have water. And people will definitely die of starvation because they can't buy food. You cannot pay your mortgage. You cannot pay your rent. Pay cell phone service. They would track you anyway by then. So you're not going to be able to communicate with anybody. You're going to be on the run. You're not going to have clean water unless you sell yourself to the beast. Take the mark. You can't buy or sell, meaning you cannot buy food. You cannot buy your housing. Even if you don't have a mortgage, you have to pay taxes every year. And they're not going to allow you to pay taxes on your home unless you have the mark. So maybe those people that do own their homes, they will have a year to stay in them, but are they going to get looted by people? Mass homelessness, mass on the run. You can't pay your water bill, and you can't pay your light bill, and you can't pay your phone bill for a whole year while they're, you know what I mean? You're not going to be able to buy food. So I just thought I'd bring that up if it's anything. And even within a few hours, not that I'm up all night, but, up and down, there's already a couple more new dreams. I don't know why they're now showing up in my feed outside of the 2 channels that I watch, Uplifted and Cloud9 Blessing, because usually the original channels of the people that have the dreams, they don't show up in my feed. No, I never even know about them until they're on Cloud9 Blessing or Uplifted. But now it's like they're showing up and I'm like watching them before they're even on those dream channels. I don't know. These feathers are poking me in the leg in this comforter. So anyway, I don't remember what I was going to say, but in a few hours every day, after having gone to bed or throughout the day, more dreams or more confirmations pop up, just like I suspected. Jesus won't come upon us like a thief. This last moments here are to convince and get the stragglers. Jesus, the highways and the hedges, remember? The bridegroom didn't want to come, so he said, go out into the highways and hedges. Go get the good and the bad. You guys, there's people right now in sin, bad, and they're going to come at the last minute. He said, in the highways and hedges, the good and the bad. And and my wedding will be full. Now, do you realize that in a wedding like that with the king, when he invites, or whatever the parable is like, when he invites his guests and then they go and say, I don't want to come, you have to realize that he already made the guests tailor-made outfits. The guests' outfits were tailor-made. It costs a lot of money. And then they want to piss it away. That's a very serious thing. Just like the other parable where the one says, I just got married. The one says, I just bought some land. The other one says, I just bought a cow. Whatever. They're making excuses. Same thing with this parable. They said the parable reads something like they didn't want to go, or they were too good to go. Now, I think that's talking about the Jews, but it may not be. Sometimes these things are multifaceted. So the thing though is that those clothes are tailor-made and the guests would not come. So now he says, go in the highways and hedges, the good and the bad, the lame and the maimed. That's us, whether it's for the Jews as in the main guests, and now he's turned into the Gentiles, whether it's that way or not. 1 Corinthians 1:26, not many noble are called, not many of high esteem, not many wise, okay? He's going to use the foolish things to confound the wise. He doesn't care about proud people. You have to be humble like a child, meaning you're not thinking of yourself as, I'm all that, I fit into society, I'm very proud of myself. You know how we all used to be if we fell away. We're so proud that we fit nicely into the world and things aren't, but if you belong to him and you try to go into the world, he's going to slam you down like he did me. I didn't really fit into the world, but I was happy to be in it and hanging on its coattails, riding on its coattails. And then they chewed me up and spit me out. And even if they had not, my spirit was not wanting it anymore. My spirit it wasn't fulfilling. Even if they loved me or I wasn't riding on their coattails, it was so empty compared to having used to have been walking with Christ. Because see, I had a taste. And then you go into the world after that and you're like, I kept trying to make it, I'd reinvent myself or get back up and start over and try it a different way, try it a new way, try it that way, try it. None of it ever satisfied, even if I thought I was at the moment. Either it didn't last, or I'm like, this isn't what I want. I don't like this. This is futile, empty, and vain. Okay. All right. Bye, you guys. God bless you, and keep looking for them signs. It's not just about dreams and visions and all that, but it is a lot of it, because that's the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. But it's the same thing when he's going to give you, information, little, what is it called? Tidbits, little crumbs. So, and possibly we're all going to get dreams and visions pretty quickly here now. Time is getting closer and closer, and it's just going to look more and more obvious. So I'm going to share the two videos, and I wanted to share that verse that if he didn't cut the days short, then no flesh would survive. And that's another good reason why no one can know the day and the hour. Because of the end is their question was, when is the end? Their question was not, when is the rapture? Their question is, when is the end? And he said, no one but my Father knows. And I just, there's several ways you can translate that correctly. And this is just one other way. Unless I've got the scriptures wrong about the meanings. Okay, God bless you. Bye.